Today's Mercedes-Benz interview of the day brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Dream Days. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are here. Exceptional offers on the CLE Coupe, E-Class Sedan, C-Class Sedan, and the CLE Cabriolet going on now through September 3rd. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. He is the founder of Fanatics, CEO. They got something special taking place in New York City, August 16th through the 18th, the Javits Center. And fans have a chance to meet sports heroes. There's rare cards, memorabilia, limited edition merch, and a lot of interactive experiences as we welcome in Michael Rubin. Michael, thank you for joining us. I can imagine what your business card reads, but when you explain to somebody, this is what my job is, how would you do that?
First, how you doing? Great to be with you today. Second, I'd say I got the greatest job in the planet. I get to work around 100 million plus incredible sports fans, most passionate fans in the world, thousands of athletes. And, you know, it's when you're a kid, you dream of doing something. If you're not athletic like me and you actually suck at sports, then, you love an opportunity to work around sports and do what I do and kind of help build kind of the digital sports ecosystem. So I don't have business cards, by the way. I haven't had business cards for probably 15 years. So that's the good thing. So, but I'm honored to lead Fanatics and, really excited to talk about everything we're doing with the Fanatics Fest as well, which can be like a never been done, first of a kind sports festival going on in New York City, August 16th through the 18th.
But you were in the repurpose business when you started out, right? When you're young?
Long ago when I was a child.
Yeah.
About 35 years ago, I actually was in the business of buying and selling closeout skis and closeout footwear. And that's where I got my big start from. I was, I started with ski shops when I was a teenager, opened my first one when I was 14. Had 5 by the time I graduated high school, nearly went bankrupt a few times. And when I nearly went bankrupt once, I learned about buying excess merchandise at very discounted price. And that got me to the closeout business.
But does going through the bankruptcy, like, how does that impact you? Like, you never want to go through that, but.
What do you mean? It was a blast. I had, when I was 16 years old, I tell this story all the time. This is not an exaggeration or embellishment in any way. I got sued probably 100 times as a 16-year-old. The sheriff used to show up before I went to high school each day. She'd come at like 7:30. I was still at home. She'd say, like, here are today's lawsuits. I'd give her a hug. She'd say hi, and she'd give me the day's lawsuits. But you know what it teaches you? It teaches you that each failure needs to turn into your next success. And so for me, having almost gone bankrupt and then figuring out how to settle my debts because I wasn't even old enough to incur debt, that taught me about how do I turn that into my next success? And honestly, about a few months later, I found a ski shop that had $200,000 of merchandise that got auctioned off for $13,000, and I bought it. And that got me in the business of buying and selling closeouts. So to me, any entrepreneur who tells you they haven't had lots of failures in their life, I think they're full of it. And you got to take those failures and learn from them and have them make you a better person. Just, learn from all your mistakes. It's what I do every day. I make lots of mistakes.
What do you miss about being an owner? You owned the 76ers and the New Jersey Devils. What's the one thing?
Well, what I missed was I never got to help bring a championship to Philadelphia. And I think when you own a sports team, you have one job and one job only. It's to win a championship for your city. And we failed. We never did that when I was, with the Philadelphia Sixers. I'm so fortunate to work around all these sports teams and the leagues and the players associations. So the reason for me was as Fanatics kept getting bigger, we grew from just merchandise where we started to having a fast-growing sports betting business, a Fanatics Sportsbook, to have the trading card business with Topps and all these direct relationships with athletes. You can't do deals directly with athletes when you own a team, and you can't take bets on your own team. And so it kind of made it impossible for me. So it was a great honor and a privilege to be part of the Sixers organization. And it was time for me to move on and put all of my effort into building Fanatics.
He's Michael Rubin, the Fanatics founder and CEO. Give me the celebrity you met, first time you met, and maybe you were out of sorts. Maybe you weren't quite sure what to say or not say.
Well, I've got a lot of things that I suck at, a lot of weaknesses. Being short of words is not one of them. So I can't think of a time ever that I was short of words. Maybe I spoke too much or said too much, but I don't know. Look, if you grow up working in the business the way I do, you're in the sports business. Like, I've been around this my whole life. It's kind of just, it's kind of what I do. So I don't think you just get used to it. And as we get bigger, the people you work around get bigger, but it's not something that I've ever been uncomfortable with. For me, I have so many questions that I want to learn from people. I have so many things I want to absorb from people. So for me, it's about how can I learn from the people that are around me?
I don't know what you can see. I have an ultimate man cave here, but
You're crushing. You're like the model Fanatics customer. I see so many different pieces of memorabilia, so many cool things in your office. I was taking note of it all.
I don't know what things are worth. I know a lot of that is what is it worth to you personally, but like I have a signed Kobe All-Star jersey where he calls me the White Mamba, but it's to me. So like it's personalized. A lot of guys personalize autographs now. What's that do to the value of that merchandise?
Yeah, well, that's an incredibly valuable jersey, and but more importantly, it's probably an incredibly valuable memory for you. Look, our business, we have, we own Topps. We're a pretty big trading card business that's really driven by rookies and driven by moments in sports. We have a big memorabilia business as well. I'll tell you, what I keep trying to do is learn from the art market and take the learnings we have in art and bring them to memorabilia and trading cards. Because if you think about the way great artists sell art, you could take so many learnings from that and use that to build the memorabilia business and trading card business. And I think you see that in the way we're creating scarcity with Topps. And a lot of the marketing and a lot of the building we're doing are taking things that we learned from the art market.
But explain that though, Michael. What is the art business doing that equates to what we're doing in memorabilia?
Well, first of all, art is there are hundreds of billions or even trillions of dollars of art owned. It's a enormous industry with, just incredible asset values. I'll give you an example. I remember hosting a dinner at my house maybe a year or two ago, and Jonas Wood, who's a, well-known artist who's done a lot of pieces of sports art, was talking to me about how he goes to market and the way he'll, show the art first, build a lot of demand for it. And then he sells, kind of one piece at a time because they want to make these pieces incredibly valuable. Versus an athlete generally keeps all the memorabilia and then they need money. And then that memorabilia starts being sold in bulk and you kind of hurt your own market. So, one learning I got is just how do you market memorabilia and do it in a smart way? I think if you copy the art market, you're going to create a lot more value versus you flood the market. That's just one example I took from that dinner I had with Jonas Wood.
What role did Fanatics play in Major League Baseball's uniforms, and what role can you play moving forward?
Yeah, look, I think anytime anything goes wrong for a player or a fan, and we have any part of it, we feel some responsibility. Certainly, I think it's well known at this point that, we've been making the jerseys for, 8 years in the factory that we own, and the factory that we own has been making the jerseys for more than 20 years. I think both Fanatics and Nike each want to innovate as much as they can. I think in this particular case, Nike wanted to innovate the jersey and not everything worked the way they want it. By the way, we've had the same thing happen with us when not everything that we want to innovate works the way we want. The good thing is we listen to players, we listen to fans, and now we're going back to the bigger letters, the bigger numbers, the tailored pants, and fans are excited. So that's the great thing about sports fans. They're super passionate. When you do well, they're going to tell you did well. When you do poorly, they're going to speak loudly. And I like that. That's what makes us a better company.
I think we got to go back to the players wearing their jerseys, at least the tops in the All-Star game, because there were 32 first-time All-Star players, Michael. We need branding. Like, you're not just an All-Star. I want to equate that, you're with the Guardians. Not everybody knows Shohei. Everybody knows Aaron Judge. But if you're selling baseball, you got to sell more than just, the treetop here with the stars.
Yeah, look, I think you could say in several sports, maybe other than the NBA, that marketing the stars is a big opportunity. And for us, what I always say is I wouldn't have the privilege of working with 22,000 incredible team members every day that I work with and leading Fanatics if it wasn't for the incredible players do what they do on the field, on the ice, on the court. And I think marketing of these players is so important. We spend a lot of energy and thought and money in marketing. And by the way, that's honestly what came to the idea of how we created Fanatics Fest. Like I grew up a collector. Like I grew up going to, different collecting shows. And then when we bought Topps and won a lot of the rights to the trading cards industry, I went to the National Trading Card Show in Atlantic City 3 years ago. And I had like two reactions. One was I couldn't believe there were more than 100,000 incredibly passionate collectors of this show. And I was like so excited by that. The second thing was I was like, this hasn't changed a lot since when I was in high school. I don't want to say how long ago I was in high school. It's a long time ago I was in high school and went to these trading card shows. And that gave us the idea to create Fanatics Fest. And how do we bring all these star athletes together to showcase them? How do we let them connect better to their fans? And what we're going to do August 16th to the 18th at the Javits Center in New York City, no one's ever tried this in sports. And you think about this, you have in all the other industries, right? You have Comic-Con. I don't know. Have you ever been to Comic-Con?
I have not.
Okay. When you go to Comic-Con, you'd be like, this is crazy. Hundreds of thousands of people dressed in their favorite character. You go to music festivals, like I go to Coachella every year, or you go to South by Southwest, and you see incredibly passionate fan bases within an industry. Sports, there's nothing like that. So like I've been to, the Super Bowl, the NBA All-Star Game, Major League, Baseball All-Star Game. You look and say, they all do these fan fests, but why can't we create one event where you have the best athletes in the world to come through? And we're doing this, by the way. We got like Stephen A. Smith interviewing Tom Brady, and we've got Big Papi interviewing Derek Jeter. We've got Eli and Peyton Manning. We got Kevin Durant coming. We got Anthony Edwards. You have 200 of the greatest athletes in the world coming for 3 days to celebrate and create this kind of sports festival, which when it works, I want to do this everywhere in the world. Like I want to create the greatest sports festival in the world. And so I couldn't be more about it. All the leagues will come and you'll be able to run the 40-yard dash. I mean, I can't do that because I'm very uncoordinated and can't run very fast. But each league will have an activation there. So it's kind of taking the best of all the sports leagues, the teams, the athletes, collecting all in one place and kind of create the ultimate sports festival. So like that's about marketing stars.
And if you want to have somebody who can do really good interviews, let me know next time. I'll be available.
We got to get, and by the way, we want you. We got to get you in here. Let's go.
All right.
This is really about bringing everyone together, and we have so many different people just creating great content. So we need you. So that's your call out. You just committed. Thank you, by the way.
What's the website, or is there? How do people get information?
You go to fanaticsfest.com. They'll tell you about all the different athletes we have. We keep adding people every single day, and they'll tell you about all the different activities you can do. But this will be a one-of-a-kind sports festival. If you live anywhere near New York City, whether it's Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., Boston, if you like sports, this will be something that you can never do except at Fanatics Fest. So check out the site. We can't wait to host you. I got one goal. I want every sports fan to come through there and say, like, this was the most fun I've ever had. Just because they got to do so many different things in sports, and we got a lot of surprises planned for people. If there's one thing I'm not bad at, it's throwing parties. This is going to be a hell of a party.
The NHL on ice uniforms, that's next season?
No, it launches this season. We unveiled them at the draft a few weeks ago. The reception was spectacular. And, really what we learned is, we took so much input from the players, so much input from the equipment managers. What they told us, they love the jersey they have, but they didn't really like the dimples. They needed some reinforcement in the sleeves. We basically just enhanced the existing jersey, and the reception was 10 out of 10 perfect.
Awesome. Well, you're a busy man. Good luck with this coming up next month. Thanks for joining us, Michael.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm going to see you at Fanatics Fest.
That's Michael Rubin, Fanatics founder and CEO. A lot of energy there. Got Stephen A. asking the questions. All right. He wants to upgrade next time, then we'll upgrade, and I'll see if I can make myself available. Just joking, Stephen A. However,